A few of you are still in the audience and watching at home, and for that I say thank you. Because thank you for staying. I really appreciate it, especially for this segment, which is really important. I'm joined with Mittens for the first time since this morning. What's up, brother?
Oh, dude, doing good, Enjoying the con.
Of course. Good to see you again.
Yeah.
We have a guest, Anastasia. Hello.
Awesome. Nice
Welcome
to
the
see you.
stage. Nice to
Thank
see you
you.
as well. So, what is it we're discussing today? Can you give us the lowdown?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're here really talking about how people who love to play video games have a passion for video games and can turn that into making an impact in their community through getting involved with charities.
Nice. And there's been a number of charitable events taking place all across Twitch, since the inception. And how much of that have you been a part of?
You know, I've been a part of it for a couple of years, but I was really amazed to learn this morning that since 2011, the Twitch community has raised over $75 million for charities.
That's good.
That's pretty crazy.
over
That's
100 different
awesome.
charities.
Yeah.
That's really good. And what's the next step now? When you're here, you have a space, I'm sure, over there to talk
You
more
know
about
what?
it, right?
We certainly do. We have a space over there. We're actually doing a booth in combination with Twitch Unity.
Okay.
And we're have a great discussion going on over there about diversity and inclusion. And for our part, at the Entertainment Software Association Foundation, we actually brought our photo gallery. And we also have a killer photographer over there, so please stop by, get your photo taken.
It's all of you.
But we are talking about women in gaming.
Nice.
We run a scholarship fund for women and minorities who want to get into video game art, so it offers a really great platform and to serve as a area for mentors and mentees to kind of connect. So I encourage everyone to come over, but more importantly, I encourage everyone to head back to the far side of the conference space and really get to know some of the other charities back there that are sharing their passion for video games, who provide great platforms for folks to get involved. Everything from helping sick kids in hospitals to mental health. There's a lot of cool organizations back there.
Absolutely.
Have you had a chance to stop by back there?
Yeah, I ran back earlier to check out St. Jude. I love the people back there, and I've
Yep.
worked with them before, and I know a lot of us have, and I went back and talked to them earlier. So it's been go, go, go today, and I think we're all really busy, but yeah, we're going to make it back there over the weekend.
And you've done a lot of work. Like you said, you've done a lot of St. Jude stuff, too, so you've been a part of this
I went
as well.
I went to the St. Jude Play Live Summit. Oh, when was that? I believe it was the year before last, not this past year, but before that, yes. So we've worked with charities quite a bit, absolutely.
I like the fact you mentioned the inclusion, too, because I feel like sometimes on Twitch there are discussions of, what about us? What about a better representation of women in gaming, more people of color, and, being able to come to a convention and say, I can identify with this and with that and with that, and being able to help others who say, you know what, I want to see all of us do better as well, and to
Yep.
have you guys have a step in that is really a
Yep.
step in the right direction.
No, we appreciate it. Thanks.
And you're saying you're trying to help them get into gaming. Is this into game development, into education, or just into...
Yeah, so we really focus on a couple of things. As I mentioned, we have the scholarship fund, but we also start at younger ages, getting people involved in coding and exposing them that there are careers in video games. One of the things that I really love about the photo exhibit, it's let's start with the basics.
Okay.
You have a passion for video games, right? Mm-hmm. And now what else are you interested in? So we have photographs back there of women that are esports makeup artists, of game developers, people who really love marketing but love video games. So, I work for Xbox in the marketing team.
Into the entire industry as a whole.
Everything. And today we're here having a wonderful opportunity to capture streamers as part of that. And I really, really have to thank Red Bull, who really helped inspire a lot of this and actually helped underwrite its inception and has continued to kind of support us along the way in building out this photo gallery across the country.
You said they inspired. How did they inspire you to do this?
You know what? When you meet great people out there, especially at cons and things like that, and you start having conversations and ideas start flying, and the next thing you know, something's birthed. And they were really kind of a part of that and pushing it, and they feel it's very important for them. So we're really proud to partner with them on that.
Awesome, amazing.
And it's really cool that you mentioned, I was going to ask about that, because people right now are listening, either at home and watching, or they're right here in the audience, and they go over there. It can be a little overwhelming, I imagine, to see, so many different sections of, how do I know what fits me? How do I know, which segment I belong to I can go into? And a lot of times, I think you don't understand how much is going on back there anywhere at any given point that you can be a part of.
Yep.
Like you mentioned the esports makeup and the technician side, and people are, maybe you don't see them unless you're here. You see them going in and out of here.
Yeah.
Different races and heights and genders and everything. So I'm glad you have that over there to provide examples of that too.
Yeah. And it's the same thing when you pick a charity that you want to get involved with.
Yes.
It can be overwhelming. There's so many great organizations out there and so many great causes and so many opportunities. But start with that passion that you have with video games and then go from there. And that's the great thing that you guys provide here at TwitchCon is a space for charities to really showcase their work and engage in dialogue with folks. And that's a great way to just really sort of connect.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of different communities too that like, I feel like sometimes you can run into it accidentally too. Like I started watching speedrunning years ago, and I had no idea at first that was actually part of charity, like SGDQ and HDQ.
That's how I got involved in Twitch in the very beginning.
and
Back in
speedrunning?
back in 2014. That's how I found out about it. Was looking at Dark Souls speedrunning at Awesome Games Done Quick.
Yeah.
And that's what got into it. And it was all through the charity, and it was all about community, and that's what brought it together. So that's why I'm here today, and that's why I'm on stage today doing this. It all comes back to charity, and it all comes back to that sense of community and that wanting to help one another, and it's absolutely brilliant. And honestly, it means a lot to me that right there, that you actually called out and said all the different charities back there, and instead of, it seems like, oh, it just means, it means a lot to me.
I think that, like, that's one of the biggest surprises, I think, too, is that maybe there can be misconception about how gaming works and people in communities, and like maybe you might have some toxicity here and you're thinking that's the entire community as a whole. And it's kind of thing that if we're involved in it, we know every day, yeah, there's charity this and charity that. But if you're brand new to it or just stepping into it, maybe you're not aware that there's all these opportunities that happen in gaming. Like, what's been the biggest surprise for you, even though you've been in this a long time, in terms of like gaming and Twitch that you've seen take place?
You know, honestly, it starts with that community, but it starts small. And then some of these charities you get involved with, and then you go and see the impact that interactive technology, because it's not just video games, it's really kind of beyond that, has. You know, you go into a hospital, and some of the kids are playing, you know, to take their mind off of what's going through. But then there's really great people out there that are turning gamification into helping kids understand their treatment. We had the opportunity to fund a game called Hope Lab for almost 10 years. And it really taught kids about their cancer treatment and really helped them understand what was going on in their body. And it made their treatment far more effective. And there's actually an organization back there today, if folks are interested in stopping by, about called Game Changer. And they don't just provide entertainment for the kids in the hospitals, they're also looking at ways of leveraging that to improve their treatment and improve their experience, unfortunately, in a hospital setting.
By working with developers to actually...
Working with developers, working with medical professionals, working with counselors, and they're also helping put technologists in the hospitals so that they can help the caregivers focus on the care, but then leverage technology and use the entertainment video game interaction for things. So they're just like doing just really cool stuff back there.
That is actually really incredible.
That's,
Yeah.
Do you see anything in the future that maybe you would like to have happen in, I guess, this inclusion between gaming and technology and charity? Is there anything that like you want to see moving forward? Things that you're asking for, I think, maybe either from either personnel who are watching, people involved.
Yeah.
That you think would improve?
I mean, honestly, what I want to see is just more people getting involved. There is this huge entertainment factor for all of us, but it's really beyond that. Sometimes it's engaging in feeding our soul. It's our creative outlet. But then beyond that, it's things like we're talking about using this technology for, you know, treating illnesses and improving training for medical professionals, for mechanics,
that's
you know,
smart.
mechanics for planes, you know, the VR, and now that we're getting into this ability to interact with this technology in a real world, there's, you know, I kind of joke, I have this little slogan, it's like beyond entertainment. There's this huge entertainment factor, but it's so much bigger than that. I want to see that grow.
So it's almost like you're bringing in people with the entertainment factor, saying like, hey, you want to design video games, that type of thing, and then you get them in, you teach them coding, and then you help them out, and then ends up they're able to go out and help other, and maybe they don't even end up in video games at the end of the day.
And sometimes, you know, when you look at kids and you talk about some of the programs that, after-school programs that we participate in and things like that, it's so cool to go in there and see their faces light up when they realize, like, wait, I can work in video games? Like, this is a real career? And then you start digging in and you say, yeah, you can do things like what you're doing. You can actually make the games. You can do this. And even kids are like, oh, well, I'm not good at STEM or I'm not good at whatever. And it's like,
Right.
there's so much more than just that.
And there's always that idea of like, if I'm not involved in this one segment, then I can't make it. I can't do what I want to do.
Yep.
And people to have charities, people like you out there who are saying, no, you can do this, is really a huge stepping stone. I'm glad you brought up VR too, because that has to be like a boon for the entire like process of being able to say like, you can be a part of this now, even beyond it, and get like maybe even some official training through that. That has to be huge to see that.
It's really cool.
That's why.
I mean, there's not much more to say than that. I mean, it's cool.
It's just really cool.
Well, where can we find you for the rest of the con?
Over on the far side, back by the meet and greets.
Okay,
So
okay.
please, we'd love everybody to stop by. The booth is bannered with the gallery walls, as well as a Twitch Unity across the back wall. So
Excellent.
check us out.
What about online interactions, social media, website, things
Yeah,
like that?
After the
absolutely.
con's over.
After
Yeah.
the con is over.
After the con.
No, please check us out at esafoundation.org. We're also on your standard social medias. And also there we talk about some of the organizations that we support, and many of them are here, including like Extra Life, are in the back too. So it's a great place if you're not here to go online, check out who we grant, and maybe find an avenue to get involved.
Nice, which I think everybody wants to. So this is your stepping stone to getting involved. Thank you so much for bringing the information to the table.
Appreciate
for joining
it.
us here.
Thanks for chatting with
It's
me,
an
guys.
absolute
Thank
pleasure.
you,
Thank you
Anastasia.
very much. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah.
Can we get a round of applause, guys?
Yes, thank you very much.
There it is.
So this is good stuff. Sit tight and hang out here at TwitchCon, and of course, go over there and visit. But for now, look forward to the next segment. Stay